morning, welcome to another video. So I'm on the way to the garage to try and fit the bucket seats in this thing once and for all. The seat rails have finally arrived from Carbo, or however you pronounce that brand of seats. It's only took since I want to say the end of October or early November, and it's currently the 4th of Feb, 5th of Feb is it today, so 3 months at least. But anyway, they're here now. Fingers crossed they fit. All I can do is update you with the progress. I also potentially think there may have been another slight oversight on my part. I don't know that I've got the bolts to bolt the seat to the rails, so I could have fudged the whole thing yet again, but we will see once we get to the garage. So only other little updates on this car is basically it's running fine. You might have seen in the last video we fitted the cam. We've still not got around to fitting the DAS Tech ECU or whatever it was. So I'm literally just still on the standard engine management and everything else, standard exhaust, standard air filter, everything is standard except for the cam. So obviously people tell you when you fit cams that it goes lumpy at idle and everything. There's a very slight sort of lumpiness at idle, but not a lot particularly that you can really tell unless you're looking for it. It doesn't vibrate the car, it's more just an audible noise. Let's see if we can hear it now. Don't know if you can pick up on that, but it's very slight, so I don't think you will. And then when we're driving, it's dead smooth, it's perfectly fine, no issues whatsoever. So I'm really happy with the cam. As I said in the last video, I'm not 100% sure I can really feel any performance benefits just yet, but we've not fitted any of the other parts to liberate that power, so it's probably not, in all fairness. But there's certainly no downside to what we've done, other than it's cost a couple of quid. And I've not really seen any performance gains. I've not felt them anyway. I've not took it to the track to measure it yet. We'll do all that once we've got the exhaust on, and then we can do it all in one go. So yeah, I'm nearly at the garage, so I'll knock the video off and we'll reconvene once I've shifted all the cars out and I've got this in place to have a go at these seats. Right, I'll see you in a bit. Right, so we're in the unit. So the neighbours are in today to join us, so if there's music comes on and loud knocks and bangs or drill noises, it is what it is. So this is my box. This has been my bane of my life for 3 or 4 months. It's finally arrived, so let's start chopping it open and let's see what I've actually potentially wasted 300 quid on. So while I'm doing this, I thought I'd explain. So I got these rails off the same people I got my seats and that from, GSM Racing or Sport Seats For You. And if you go on the internet, there is some negative reviews from them. Now, what I'll say is that so far everything I've bought off them, which is seats and harnesses and now this stuff, it's all arrived. So they're not a fake company, they're definitely real. And anything you buy off them will eventually turn up, but they let themselves down a little bit on the customer service side, keeping you up to date. That's all I would say. So I think if they can learn a lesson, you should just keep people updated with where their items up to and what have you. But anyway, as we can see, everything seems to be here, but looks like I've got to piece it all together. So I'm going to crack on opening these boxes and we'll see what we've actually won. And this is pretty much what we've got. So we've got custom made base, we've got this sort of adapter frame, and then we have these 2 individual rails and the handle what fits in. Now obviously, as you might have seen in the last video, and that's all times 2. But I've only broken the passenger side down, as I said in the last video, because what we like to do is start with the passenger seat, make sure it's all right, and then if it does go tits up, at least I've still got a fully functioning driver's seat. Now, some of the features actually that I'm pretty happy with that I didn't realise were coming with it. Original seatbelt mounting point, so I can keep the standard 3-point seatbelt along with the harnesses that I've got, which will make general day-to-day driving a little bit easier. So there's that. It does look like quality stuff. That's obviously why I got proper cardboard stuff and not universal shite. But now we'll get the bucket seats out and we'll see how far we get. So yeah, pretty impressed really with everything that we've received eventually. Like I say, the lead times are a little bit of a piss take, but at the end of the day, it looks like it's all the right gear. So yeah, looking forward, we're making progress. Again, the video might be a bit choppy, I'm on my own today, so I'll film when I can sort of be bothered really. And that's pretty much it, so I'll give you some more progress as I progress. So here's something you might not know if you come to fitting bucket seats, right? Especially when they're base mounted like this. The holes are always covered by the seat material. So you have to expose the holes. So we'll get my knife and basically chop the material and then just peel it back. A bit like a foreskin. So that's what I'm in the middle of doing now. And there we are, 4 fully exposed helmets ready for action. So yeah, on to the next bit, which is weighing up if the rails fit or if we have to use the adapter bars, which I'm really hoping we can avoid because I've not got enough nuts and bolts to fit the adapter bars, to be honest with you. But let's see how we get on. So I know it's a bit dark, but we'll just have to live with it. Basically mocked up these, what do you call it, it's these rails. As you can see, when we go to put the slider handle in, that one's going to fall well short of about 3 or 4 inches. So adapter bars it is. Right, so I'm fast forwarding. I've got the seats bases built up now finally. So it consisted of this square base, don't know if we can see, let's use the torch. This square base onto these sliders, which to be honest they're not the best, they're a bit shit, but I'm just going to have to live with them. They bolt there, then those sliders bolt onto these adapter bars, and these adapter bars bolt into the seats. So I'm just currently going to tighten them up, and then I've got to just make sure these are tight because I had these loose so I could get the angles right. I'll double check them, and then that's everything, and then it's on to the main base and then into the car. So we are making progress. So on to the next bit now, which is just ripping out the 5 bolts that we saw last time, so not bite death with this, and the seat will pop out and then we'll chuck that frame back in, and that should be we should be making some progress now. So there we go, so that's no more than 2 minutes work and the passenger seat's out. We're flying here, and then I've managed to find a bit of money in the carpet, so we'll be having that. Right, so now we'll mount this frame. In fact, I'll grab it now. And let's see how good this manufacturing is, shall we? So, excuse the wibble cam, but that fits in there pretty good. That goes under the carpet there. That goes under that carpet there. So if we can find somewhere to put this torch so we can actually see. Let's see. Close enough, close enough, close enough, and close enough. I think we'll get it with a bit of force, brute force. Gets us everywhere. So I'll report back. Right, so hopefully we can see this is what I was talking about. I've put all the nuts in loose. That one's loose. That one's loose, it's in. That one's in loose, that one's in loose. So we've got a bit of freedom, a bit of play. Now, if these were cheap, I could understand having to put up with a bit of jiggery pokery. But these weren't cheap. This is 330 quid's worth of seat rail. And look how far off that one is. It's miles off. So, again, Carbo, while it seems to be a good product, as in the welds are all nice and all that sort of stuff, we're off by about half an inch, and I don't really think it's acceptable, to be honest, for the price I've paid. GSM or Sport Seats for You, or whatever you want to be called, again, it's like I was saying earlier, you're not a fake company and all that sort of stuff. You're real guys. You do actually eventually deliver the products, even if it takes 4 months. But this isn't acceptable. And in some of the emails I've been speaking to, it's been very much a pass the buck situation. I give you guys my money. I expect you guys to sort this out. So when I send you an email, I'll be including this video so you can see how far off these bolt holes are. And honestly, I expect you to do something about it. I'm still expecting some sort of refund based on the fact that everything was 4 months late, which I haven't received even a sorry, to be honest, an apology. It's all just speak to Carbo. And now we've got this. I don't really think it's acceptable, but I'll persevere because that's what we do here, and I'll get it in somehow. But I'm not really happy for my money, to be honest with you. Basically 350. Well, with these bars, 400 quid. And nothing bolts up. I had to modify it to get the seats onto the base anyway, and now I'm dealing with this. It's not really acceptable. Right, so after a lot of messing about, I've got it in. So the next thing, I'm going to take that seat belt buckle off and attach it to this, and then these screws here come out, and then I can mount what I've built up over there straight in here. Now, it should be straightforward, but with all the jiggery pokery I've had to do to get everything else to fit, now I don't know if this overall shape is warped and how easy they're going to line up to the other sort of subframes. So this is the knock-on effect of having to modify things and get things to work because they've been poorly manufactured. So now I don't even know if everything's going to fit together, but we shall see. And so what I'm hoping is, this is as simple as just getting the tool in here and undoing that, and that'll come off. But life's never normally that simple, but let's see. So that's that next step done. That was harder work than it needed to be. But anyway, finally got that in. So now it's seat time. Yeah, let's see how we get on. And that's the seat in. So after all that pissing and moaning, the final stage was actually pretty easy. So I'm going to sit in it for the first time, and again, there's a reason I did the passenger seat first. It's because when building them frames up, if I feel like I need to move it back any further because I'm quite tall, then I've got the opportunity to do it when I build it. So I can do a test run on this passenger seat and see how it feels. So in we go. So yeah, so they feel, I'll turn it around so you can see me. They feel nice and snug. Don't know if that lighting's any better. Probably not, if it means you can see me. But they're nice, they're not wobbly, they're not loose. And if I pull the ring, they go back. And there's plenty of leg room down there for even someone of my height. And that's it really. Job well done, at least on this passenger side. It's a little bit close to the handbrake, but again, that's not really Carbo's fault. That's the nature of modifying cars. All that's left for me to do is try the seat belt, and I'm going to go home. I can't be bothered doing the other one today, so we'll continue this mission maybe tomorrow, maybe next weekend, I'm not sure. We'll see how we get on. So there we go, one final clip. The bucket seat is in and looking good. I know exactly what I need to do for the next one, so it'll fly through, but we're not getting that done today. I'll see you in the next video. I'll probably not film the whole thing, I'll just give you an update when it's done really. Right, see you in a bit.